Hi, I'm licensed psychotherapist Joanna Kleinman. Your inner critic is the voice in your mind that speaks to you all day long and is responsible for almost all of your suffering. It's the voice that tells you what you need to fix, what you need to change, what you need to improve, and where you're just not good enough. There's not a human being alive who escapes this voice. Your inner critic probably wants to make sure that you're liked by everyone and that no one is ever upset or angry with you. Your inner critic has convinced you that if you can control other people's thoughts or judgments or opinions of you, then you'll feel more secure and content. But instead, the more you try to control other people's disappointment or judgment, the more insecure and overwhelmed you feel. This is because your inner critic has convinced you that trying to control other people is the way to feel calm and secure and happy. And your inner critic senses that if someone might be disappointed, it sets you on a path of overwhelm and confusion and anxiety and overthinking. So your inner critic basically has you trapped in your automatic survival mechanism that's been embedded in our DNA from millions of years ago. You likely see other people as potential dangers. Any possible disagreement with someone or mistake that you make can send you down a spiral of worry and shame and thinking the worst case scenarios, most of which never actually happen. When you automatically focus on other people's emotions and thoughts in order to feel good, you create more feelings of anxiety and discontent and overwhelm and dissatisfaction. The key to your happiness and joy and contentment is about learning how to free yourself from your attachments to how others perceive you. And this has probably been something that you've been struggling with for forever. Now, this is because you've been listening to your inner critic and mistaking it for you. And what most people don't know is that living a fulfilling and happy life is not about getting rid of your inner critic or even quieting your inner critic. Unfortunately, this voice has been with us for forever and it isn't going anywhere. Changing the quality of your life is about knowing how to rewire a completely different mind so that you can see who you really are when you stop listening to and identifying with your inner critic. What most people don't realize is that you are not your inner critic. You are actually separate from this voice. The knowledge that you're separate from the voice in your mind is probably one of the most important things in life to know, and most people don't know it. Our mind is the most remarkable instrument in the world, and yet we're not taught how to properly use it. We're not taught how to think in a way that makes us feel the joy, peace, and contentment that's so elusive. We're not given an owner's manual for how to operate our mind. Your mind is on autopilot. Just like your body breathes for you, your mind just goes. And it goes to the same thoughts day in and day out. The fulfilling life that you crave depends on you learning how to properly program this amazing biocomputer that is your mind. And the bottom line is, when you learn exactly how to stop looking for approval and validation outside of yourself, you can change your life. The only real problem in your life is that you've been listening to the automatic voice in your mind and mistaking it for the real you. Dethroning your inner critic is not about changing your thoughts, calming the mind, or adjusting your attitude like the self-help industry promotes. You've tried that. And no matter how hard you try, your inner critic still says the same thing. That's because you can't ever get rid of the conditioned and habitual thoughts of your inner critic. But you can develop the capacity to see who you really are when you stop listening to your inner critic and awaken to your full potential as a human being. It's time to get off the self-help hamster wheel and instead learn to think from a completely different mind. Over the next week, I'm going to be sending you tips and strategies designed to help you understand how your inner critic is holding you back in your life and what you can do about it.